Hey, how's it going? John Dorsey, work with johnd.net. And today I want to talk about the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and your self image, and basically using your self image or changing yourself, shifting self image in a way that uh, improves your life. So, first, let's jump into it. So, 95% of people operate 95 to 99% of the time from the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is basically the autopilot mind. You might not be able to read this because I have so much written up here, but hopefully, as I explain everything, you'll understand or you'll be able to connect the dots. So the subconscious mind is the autopilot mind, and this is where your habits, routines, and customs live. So if you have these things you do that you don't know why you do them, they live here in the subconscious mind. Your basically all your body functions from the subconscious mind. Like you don't have to think about changing your heart rate when needed. You don't have to think about your digestion, your stomach and your intestines and doing and all those things doing the things they need to do. With you thinking about it, all that stuff operates from the subconscious mind. It's an autopilot. It's a program. Imagine if actually wait a minute. So I have a Walkman here from the '90s. If you're a young cat, this might be foreign to you, but this is basically a Walkman, a Sony Walkman from the '90s, and you put a tape in here, you play music. So basically, imagine this Walkman being your subconscious mind, and basically you put a tape in here, and all this Walkman can do is play the tape that's in here. So imagine that being your subconscious mind. In order to change the program, the habits, routines, and customs, you have to change the tape. So how do you change the tape? You change the tape through the conscious mind. That's the thinking mind, the educated mind, the pattern interruption mind. That's very important. The logical mind. The unfortunate part is the conscious mind operates at a low bit rate. So the conscious mind cannot process as much information as fast as the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind operates at a high bit rate. That's why it can handle all your bodily functions and all your subroutines without you having to think about it. If you have a habit of picking your nails, twisting your hair, biting your lip, mashing your, what's that, grinding your teeth, uh, taking the same way to work every day, taking the same way to school every day, eating at the same places all the time, ordering the same thing and wherever you go, all that is here. Habits, routines, and customs, your subconscious mind, the autopilot mind. And some people think, well, why is that bad? Because then I don't have to spend as much time thinking about things. Well, that isn't necessarily, it depends on what the habit is, if it's bad or not. So you can have good habits. You can have things you always do that are good. But the problem is most people have habits that aren't productive in their lives. So in order to change like I talked about with the Walkman, in order to change this program or change the tape in the subconscious mind, you have to put it into the conscious mind. Now, the people in now the conscious mind can accept and reject. The subconscious mind can only accept. So whatever you put here, once you emotionalize it, and I talked about that in other videos, because the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. That's where all your emotions live. Once you emotionalize any of these things, it gets buried into your subconscious mind. So the way you emotionalize something is fear would emotionalize an experience or a thought or a behavior or something that's being coming from society, like that's society, culture, media, family, and friends uh, dumping information into your life, into your conscious mind. Once you emotionalize any of these things you're getting from these sources, it gets buried into your subconscious mind. So if the media is telling you something that you should be afraid of, something you should avoid, something you shouldn't be doing, that creates uncertainty and doubt in your conscious mind, which eventually puts fear into your subconscious mind. And now it's emotionalized. Now it's a tape that keeps running. Despite what anyone tells you, about why you shouldn't be afraid. It doesn't matter because it's buried now into your emotional mind, your subconscious mind. And the only way to change that is to change the tape. And you change the tape by getting other information, getting other knowledge, getting other education. Because remember, the conscious mind is the thinking mind, conscious mind is the educated mind, the conscious mind is the pattern interruption mind. Remember, I said, remember that. The conscious mind is the logical mind. No logic exists in the subconscious mind. All the subconscious mind is able to do is run the tape. It's not there to think. It's not there to get you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. It's there to keep running the tape. No matter how destructive that habit is, this subconscious mind will run that tape until eventually it leads to your doom. Now, what I want to point out here is that 1 to 5%. So 1 to 5% of the population operates from the conscious mind. So what that means is very few people are thinking. So that's this is what the point. That's the point here. Very few people. 1 to 5% of people operate from the conscious mind. So over 1 to 5% of people think. Most people hear something from family and friends, hear something from the media, or hear something just from society or their culture, and it basically, since they don't think, it skips any reasoning, logical mind. It skips any reasoning, goes right into the subconscious mind, and they take it as fact. Now they live that lie. Now, I'm not saying everything that you can get from these sources are lies, but if you didn't process it, how do you know it's true? If you didn't run it through filters to determine whether or not it's what the information you're getting is factual, then how do you know it's something that you should be emotionalizing? Now, let's move down to this part. So your inner, as I talked about in a couple of videos ago, I talked about as above, so below. So imagine the conscious mind, subconscious mind that's your inner world. So all this is your inner world. The stuff that's in your mind. Now, when I point to mind, I'm not talking about your brain. I'm talking about the mind, which exists outside of the brain or the brain. So this is your inner world, as above, so below. So anything that you emotionalize, habits, routines, and customs present themselves in your outer world, as above, so below. So all these habits, routines, and customs that you believe will express itself through the body. And that could be shown in your results. So that could be your results in your health. That could be results in your finances. That could be results in your relationships, results in just pick an area. All this stuff that you emotionalize shows up in your life in your results. It shows up also in your daily life. So have you ever had let's say you had this car that you all of a sudden started liking, and you said, oh, I actually like this car. You looked it up, you saw it, then all of a sudden you were driving around or riding around, you start seeing that car all the time. Because now you've emotionalized that liking that car. Now your subconscious mind, or your conscious mind, that's what speak, is paying attention to that aspect. So what you emotionalize shows up in your daily life. And these two things combine to eventually determine your fate. Now, what is your fate? Well, that depends on the information you have and how you're processing it. And your fate is determined by whether what you're getting helps you grow, or what you're getting leads you closer to death. Now, I don't mean death literally, but eventually it can lead to your doom, whether it is in your health, your finances, your relationships, your career, whatever it is. All this stuff that you process will eventually show up in your results, your daily life, and then eventually your fate. So I think I covered all the bases. Remember, only 1 to 5% of people will live from the conscious mind, the thinking mind, educated mind, logical mind, the pattern interruption mind. Means you got the only way to change what's going on in your subconscious mind is to change the tape, and 95 to 99% of people do that. So I might make a part 2 to this to go more in depth, but that's it for this video. Hope you got some value out of it. Like, share, subscribe. check out the link in my description for working, how to work more closely with me and my routine and follow me and working with me and all that. So that's it for this video. Like, share, subscribe. Talk to you again soon.